and right now he is a service delivery manager in Dell. And we also have B. Prashanth Kumar, who is a principal engineer
Volume kami loda.
in Dell. He has over 8 years of experience in SAP Basis and SAP HANA. So we are very glad to have both of you all today, Susheel and Prashanth. I hope both of you all are there. Susheel and Prashanth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. So we are very happy to have you all here, and we hope like the previous sessions were really informative, and we hope to have real-time experience in today's session. So over to you all. Before starting the session, a request to the participants to kindly mute your microphones, and in case you are having any doubts, what you could do is you could message. You could just message it in the chat. Whatever questions are there, you could put it in the chat box so that the presenters will be able to see that messages and will be able to communicate to you all. Also, I would request people, once the chat is enabled, do not message anything apart from the queries, because it'll when you're messaging something like that, there's a chance of missing the question. So it's a humble request for everybody. One, to mute your microphones. Second, to if any queries, please message in the chat box, and only queries, only anything regarding your today's session only should be there in the chat box. Thank you so much. I hope you'll be having a wonderful session like all the other 2 days. So over to you, Susheel and Prashanth. You all may start the session now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Prant. That was a great welcoming us, and good morning, all. I hope you have a great start of your
This
day.
conference will now be recorded.
And I hope everyone is doing good and safe due to this pandemic situations. I know, especially when we talk about our work from home and everyone, all the industries are working from home. Things have been changed completely. From the version of viewing is completely changed. So I hope everyone doing great, and I'm welcoming all the future leaders for this getting into the future generations and future leaders, guys. So just let's come to the session. Myself, Susheel Gupta. I'm basically from Hyderabad, and I've done my graduation from MGI University, and I own 12 years experience in SAP Basis, HANA, and delivery side. So I worked with IBM, Deloitte, HCL, Microsoft, and currently I'm working as a Dell EMC as a service delivery manager, handling all the delivery and the for the SAP Basis accounts. And along with me, I have my colleague. His name is Prashanth. He's also a solution architect and a principal engineer for SAP. He's mainly focused on SAP Basis. So, so let's get onto the things. Most of the people might have knowledge on SAP. What is SAP? But how it is, how evolution happened, why we are using SAP. There are other tools in the market which has the same feel and flow. What is the things, why we are going for SAP. So we will give complete information on this platform. So ma'am, shall we start, or shall we, because I see the audience are little like, shall we wait for a couple of more minutes? I'm absolutely fine.
You could wait for 2 more minutes if you want, but I think, you could wait for 2 more minutes and then start, sir, because
sure.
The ones who told to wait for a few more minutes have already joined.
Sure. We'll start at 10:10 so that you can have 2 minutes of a break. The people can go and grab your coffee or whatever you wanted. You can do it. We'll just start at 10:10, guys. Thank you. All right. Shows 10:10 in my clock. Let me start, ma'am.
Sure, sir. Go ahead.
All right. Welcome, guys. Welcome back again. So I'll tell you about SAP technology, how it got and how the evolution happened and what is SAP. So as I stated earlier, that most of the people might get in doubt what is SAP. Few people call it as SAP and few people call it as a SAP. So the terminology shows it's completely the terminology derived the complete meaning of it. It's a system, application, and product in data processing. And coming to the next, let me go to the next slide. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we can actually see your screen and you're audible, sir. So not an issue.
Wonderful, wonderful. So what is SAP? So I told you the definition, what is SAP? Everyone can get it in online also, but why we are going as a SAP? SAP is not a platform, or it comes with a ERP. So when you talk about what is ERP again, so example, I'll tell you a typical example, typical business example, like if you want to start a business or any business or a manufacturing unit, uh, you have to have a various departments. You have to have a various departments like sales, manufacturing, vendor, flow support, finance, HR, lot of departments. So in typical business earlier, before SAP getting into it, there are other platforms who has right now going with the same typical business things. So in this typical business things, as I stated, which has various departments and business units, these departments and business units do not communicate each other. I'm sorry. Okay. So these departments will not communicate each other. That means if you see in this slide, it clearly shows the typical normal business model, wherein a customer calls and asks for one product. Then customer calls up to the sales. Sales will check with inventory. He says that they do not have any update on it. So there is no proper data stored at one place. Okay, there is no proper data stored at one place. So this is called a typical business or a centralized, decentralized system. So because of decentralized systems, there are a lot of disadvantages than more of advantages, because whenever example, these departments do not communicate each other, the success of our organizations only whenever, if you example, we'll take an example, we'll take an example of one of the product manufacturing unity. I just called as a vendor. As a customer, I called up the vendor team, customer sales department, like I need one product. So then he called up to the inventory or other department. Then he called up to the other department. As he do not have a centralized information, I'm just telling you again and again these words, because centralized is locally stored information. So due to this issues, there will be a lot of data is not maintained centralized or locally. Because of this, loss of revenue, loss of time, customer dissatisfaction. There are a lot of vendors, there are in the market, there are a lot of vendors where you will not get a product in one company or one service provider, you'll go to the other providers. That means you are losing your business. So due to that solution, these all limitations and the complexity of the business, SAP come up with a centralized ERP tool. This picture clearly shows what example of the centralized ERP tool. The ERP tool gives complete information what centralized ERP tool. So it provides end-to-end solutions for financial, manufacturing, logistics, distributions, and etc. All the industry platforms in this market, and all the business process are executed in an SAP system, sharing common with everyone. So if you see in this slide, it clearly shows how customer is calling to sales, and sales have a direct information to the centralized system. If we need any information from the inventory, you need not to go to inventory or finance or HR and a floor planning execution or vendors. You can directly look into the centralized system and get the information and go on. So this saves a lot of information. Like the advantage of this ERP, when you compare with, there are other ERP tools like PeopleSoft is there as SAP
Hi,
competition.
Sushil. Sorry to interrupt. Just we are
I'm
not able
sorry,
to see your screen. Still, we are able to see your
oh,
first slide of your presentation.
how come? Let me stop sharing and thank you, Divya. Let me stop sharing it. I guess I lost the access of presenter. No, I'm able to. No, I don't have an access to do it. Ma'am, can you please help me with this presenter one?
So just give us 2 minutes. We're working on it.
So meanwhile, ma'am work on the things. Let me explain you what are the losses of decentralized systems, which we are talking about it. And that I've stated earlier, that a lot of revenue, customer disfaction, and integrating the data becomes timing and money consuming. That means integrating the data. Example, if I require a data from a vendor, sales guy need a requirement of data, how much of inventory is there, how much of products are there, how much of raw material is there, how many vendors we have, what are the vendors details. So this will take some time to get more into a detail. If you have a centralized one shop, it's called as a centralized one system or a centralized one shop. If you go example, if you go to supermarket, in one flow, one on the one roof, you'll get everything. If you go to any small grocery stores, you'll not get anything, whatever the list. Same thing as is implemented in the software, it is called ERP, centralized ERP. Is it working fine now?
Sushil,
Still, it shows the first slide. Yeah, ma'am, tell me. I'm out. You're audible, ma'am. Tell me, please, ma'am.
sir, could you just off the screen and re-log in once again? I mean, just stop sharing the screen and just restart once again.
Let me. You mean to say disconnect from the GoToMeeting?
No.
I'm
Just
unable to stop
stop
sharing my
sharing the
picture.
screen and restart it. And second thing is, do not start the PowerPoint. Just normal slides will do. So if you if you just press on click on F5, I think that is not visible. So normal slides will do.
Actually, I've tried all that function keys. This is not working. Let me rejoin, ma'am. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Really, there seems to be some technical glitch. Let me rejoin.
We are really sorry about that. So please wait for a few more minutes while Susheel joins the meeting, and we'll get back to you all. Sorry again for your inconvenience.
Hey, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Let me share it now. Is it visible now?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you are on the SAP evolution slide.
Okay.
could you enlarge it? I mean, could you just put only that window so that it will be visible a little more? Now the slides are moving and we can see the slides moving.
Is it good now?
It is visible, sir.
The visibility is good.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. I'm really sorry for that. All right. So I was talking about disadvantages of decentralized system, and I was talking about this one. I hope you got this. This is a centralized system wherein you have a centralized data is locally stored, and it will be have it in one system, and each department will have access to that particular data. What I said, like it's in a one shop things where you can get into the store and get all the details. It's a similar way when customer calls for any product or a sales requirement to the sales guy has access to ERP. At the same time, whenever people get a call to inventory or you want to get information on HR, what is the resources we have, how much of execution, or what is the execution happening, what are the sales happening, what is the finance we have, what is the budget we have. But at the same time, it has all the data, but it will be on a restricted days. Again, there will be another module comes into the picture where we have it as security, where it will be because every data will not be available for everyone. But again, it's a secured in secure way so that it will be data has been stored. So we'll just talk about key benefits of centralized systems, which I was explained earlier, but I just want to give a point on it on the why we are going for a centralized ERP system. So when we talk about key benefits, it eliminates the duplication. Especially when you talk about duplication, it doesn't require to go to different people. Guys, if anyone, no one is speaking, can you please come on? Yeah. So it eliminates the duplication, dictionary, and redundancy in data. So it clearly shows that duplication and redundancy will not happen in the data. And it provides information in a real time. This is one of the best feature, like when you have a centralized system, it provides information. It provides an information in a real-time environment. That is like live environment. And it provides control over basic business process and business unit. That means it has an access to all the data and all the environments. And when it comes to interaction, increased productivity, a lot of benefits are when you compare with that. So that's the reason we are going as SAP is going as an ERP tool, and it has been centralized, and which is called SAP is an ERP product. And most of the companies are going with these kind of business strategies to avoid these and avoid these disadvantages and getting into these benefits. So I'm just moving the slides now. So I was just explaining about what is SAP, what is ERP. Then it comes to about just a slide. I just want to give a heads up, just a glance on the SAP ERP, what is ERP and what is, SAP history about it. So it clearly states that SAP started in Germany in 1972 with by four IBM employees in 1972, and slowly it came into the R3 introduction. So I'll tell you what is R3 again. There's a single system, multiple systems, and 3-tier systems, 2-tier systems, and 3-tier systems. So it clearly shows that SAP R3. If you talk about, I'll just tell you what is R3 again. In detail, and my colleague Prashanth will explain you what exactly that in detail. But I just want to let you know, SAP comes up with different modules. Okay. Currently, SAP has 25 plus modules, and it supports 46 plus international language. So again, what do you mean module means? So again, it will be module is something like depends on technical and functional. I'll explain you in a different slides. We will let you know on more on the functional, technical, and things. So what is meant by R? R is the real-time architecture. So it clearly explains what is SAP R3 and everything. I've just given a one slide to understand, give a glance on that. So well, let's go to the next slide. So as I stated in the previous slide, in 1972, SAP has been started by four IBM employers, and currently in 2015, it is having a SAP S4 HANA. What do you mean by HANA? Again, HANA is a in computing database, and SAP owns this database, and SAP supports other databases, which my friend who Sai has told you earlier on the relational database management and example on the database things, where SAP supports MaxDB, Sybase, Oracle, and all of that. And why? Another beautiful feature of SAP, because it's enhanced or integrates with non-SAP applications. Ariba, Fieldglass, procurement, PI, BWs. So whenever we do any in processing example, I'll just tell you what is meant by integration to understand the people, audience. Example, I run a business. So I take, when I run a business of manufacturing unit, I connect with different vendors. I have to make the payments through payment to that vendors. So my system is SAP system, but invoices comes in different versions. So there is another module to integrate that invoices to convert into SAP, that is called PI, process integration and process orchestration. And again, we have a lot of adapters, generals to convert a normal invoice to SAP invoice to understand and make a purchase. So this, I just give an example because to understand how it integrates with non-SAP products. Okay. And this is the simple evolution what is started it. And now currently the main thing is going on, successful version is 3-tier architecture, which has a database, application, and presentation layer. Okay. This has database, application, and presentation layer. What is database? What is application? What is presentation layer? I'll just give a glance on it because my friend, colleague will take care to the detail about it. But let me give you a glance on it. It's nothing but a simple, this diagram clearly shows presentation means clients, that is end users, we log in. Applications means our servers. The diagram itself shows it's a servers, wherein the end users connects to the servers and database is connected to different Oracle database like RDBMS, MaxDB, what a HANA DTB, all these things. Now, why it connects, I told you it supports all different flavors of databases too. So it clearly shows that end users are connecting to the application, application is connecting to the database to fetch the data. So database is connected with in respective with their flavored of data. All right. So guys, and we will end, we have a Q&A sessions. If you have any queries or questions, please do make a note of it and ping in the chat window. We will have a Q&A sessions for like 10 to 5 minutes based on the sessions, how it goes, but definitely we'll have a Q&A sessions, okay? And I was stated earlier that SAP consultant. So SAP comes up with 2 types of consultants. One is technical and functional consultant. So if you talk about technical consultant, we are the technical consultants. Basis comes under technical consultants. Security comes under, SAP security comes under technical consultant. And ABAP comes under technical consultant. There are functional modules like material management, SD, CRM, SRM, metallurgy, and BI, BW. These are all also mixed. There are mixed things wherein technical and functional consultant. ABAP comes under, I told you technical, but few people consider it as a functional also because they do a lot of programming and coding on it. Variables, not in a C plus coding, but it's a different version of coding. Programming they do back-end processing, they do a lot of things. So if you talk about security, there are BW, there are 2 types of security consultants, like BW and BI consultants. So when you talk about technical consultant, if you talk about basis, my friend will take care of more into detail because we have a lot of in detail information on it. So if you talk about security, I'll just give a glance on what is security again. Security is simple, nothing. I guess Mr. Vijay Kumar, can you please go on a mute? Thank you. So that is about technical and functional consultants. So this is comes to. So I'm done with guys, and my colleague will take over to the basis. Prashanth, please take care of it.
Thank you so much, Susheel.
Ma'am, can you ask Vijay Kumar to go on a mute?
Yeah, hello. Mr. Vijay Kumar, could you please mute your microphone? Okay, thank you so much, Sushil, for giving us a gist on the basis of SAP and all the terminologies. Now, Prashanth, Mr. Prashanth, are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so
Can you hear
over
me?
to you right now.
Yep. Thanks, Sushil.
Yes, Prashanth.
Thanks for handing over this call to me. And hi all, I would like to welcome you all, ladies and gentlemen, so to this session. And I would like to thank management team for providing me this wonderful opportunity to speak in front of such a big audience. And thank you, team. And to explain more about me and my experience, so myself, Prashanth Kumar, so I'm basically from Tamil Nadu. So I have overall 10 years of experience in IT industries, in which 8 years of experience in SAP basis. So I have worked in various companies like Wipro, TCS, SAP Labs, and presently I'm working in Dell EMC. From past 4 years, I'm working in Dell EMC as a principal engineer, and I am leading an entire basis team in Dell EMC as part of a technical lead. I'm a technical lead, and I'm leading a technical team. So now we'll go to our core topic, which is SAP Basis. What is SAP Basis, and who are SAP Basis consultants, and what are all their scopes? So first of all, we'll go with what is Basis. SAP Basis means it is just a reference to underlining a technical architecture of an SAP application. So what is that? If that, in that case, it means this underlining the technical architecture of an SAP application, it means that we need to know, SAP basis person should know what is SAP application and how it behaves and what are all the process which is standing in that. So to become a basis consultant and to know what basis consultant can do, the basis consultants or the person who is the owner of an SAP system. So he is an end-to-end owner. So he need to take care of the system availability. It means he need to make sure that system is working perfectly and there is no performance issues, no slowness issues. So it means that it is a child to him. The SAP basis system is the SAP basis consultants are what to say, father of what to say, in layman it's a father of they are a father of this SAP application systems. So they need to take care of the systems like a child. So even in the organizations, they will be SAP basis consultants will be the what to say, the owner of that application. So if there is anything wrong in that system, the first person, the customers or the directors, or maybe the first person they will be contacting, that person will be a basis consultant. They will not be going to any other person to check what is the issue. So that is the basis consultant's role. So he need to take a complete owner of that system. And to come to basis, what is basis? So the full form of basis. The full form of basis is business application and software for integrated solutions. So it means that I think Susheel has already covered what is that. So I'll just explain it. So SAP, it covers the it helps us to cover all the integrated solutions in one place. So we can design based on our requirement, we can modify the programs based on the customer requirement. And it's like if you are going to a shop and if you need to get some goods, and if you're going to the bill section and if you're trying to get a bill, so in the bill, in each and every shops there may be different designs of bill. So that designs can be performed by the SAP systems. So it can be the designs can be performed in SAP systems based on the requirement, and that designs will be performed and that codings will be made by SAP ABAPers. And there are different teams, whereas Susheel has covered that. Different teams like purchase, SD, object consultants, bots consultants. So there are different teams. Okay, Susheel, can you move to the next slide?
Sure, Prashanth.
Yeah. So next we'll see what is SAP release. So there are various releases in the SAP systems. From starting in the first, they have started with SAP R3 3.1. So from there, now at present, we are in SAP R3 Enterprise Portal 7.0. And apart from that, we are having S4 HANA systems. So from here to here, there are almost all 20 to 25 years of difference, in which they have made lot of improvements. So it means improvements wise, if you are, I'll go with a remember, whereas if you are using, if you bought a mobile phone for in recent days, in upcoming days, without upgrading that OS, you cannot use that mobile with a user-friendly manner. To upgrade, to use that mobile in a friendly manner, you need to upgrade the software, you need to upgrade the OS, and so you need to upgrade the kernel wise. Okay, so based on that, so I just took an example of that mobile. So to upgrade, it is same as that, as a mobile. So here in from SAP R3 3.1 to SAP R3 Enterprise 7.2, SAP has made lot of improvements, and they have made lot of user-friendly changes, and they have made lot of the corrections. So if you go with SAP R3 release 3.1, there may be some bugs or there may be some defects. That defects are covered in SAP R3 release 4.B release date, which is on June 1998. So to compare that release and to compare the latest release, which is S4 HANA, that is inbuilt database, which is supported by SAP. And here, when you see the older version, which is for June 98, which is June 1998, which is of 4.B, there was no inbuilt the SAP released database. They were using Oracle, Sybase, or DB2. It was a different vendors or different companies' database. But nowadays, SAP is suggesting to use their own database, which is SAP HANA. So that SAP HANA is more user-friendly. SAP HANA is more user-friendly, and it is more the performance is very fast. The users will be using the systems in they can able to access the systems in faster manner. So they have made a lot of improvements. If you go, if I'm going in depth on this version, so that it will take almost 1 week or 2 weeks of time. So I'm not going to go with in depth in this release manner. So I have just given you the overview of the release. So what is the core core information behind this release? What is that? That's all. So Susheel, the next slide, Susheel. Okay, so now we'll go with the SAP architecture. Okay, so what does SAP architecture means? So in SAP architecture, we are having 3 layers of support, which is database layers, one is application layer, one is presentation layer. In presentation layers, in layman word, presentation layers in the sense, if you go to a browsing center and if you're typing a Google, and the first screen it will appear, the Google the Google front page will be appearing. So that is a presentation layer. Okay, so the first screen or the first page, whichever you're seeing in the computer. But the application layer means in the application layer, whereas in the system, where the softwares.
हम लोग छुट्टी कहाँ लेने देंगे?
Guys, can you
सही बात.
mute your microphones, please?
अभी तो पॉसिबल नहीं है.
Okay, muted. Okay, thanks for that. So the application layer, in the sense, the application where the systems or software is installed to get an access to the presentation layer, whereas the users. So the softwares will be installed in that. If you take one system, to access that system, you need to install. So if you take a laptop, to access that laptop, you need to have OS installed. So the OS will be installed in the hard disk, and that hard disk will be placed in the laptop. So that laptop is an application layer. The presentation layer will be the screen, the monitor, where you are seeing the GUI. Okay, the web browser. The database layer. So the database layer, in the sense, the exact database or the data is stored in that layer, whereas so that database like Oracle, HANA, DB2, Sybase, there are much more databases which is present. So here the database layer consists of the database, which is the data is stored in that, whereas the application layer, where the application layer consists of the applications which is installed there, and in the presentation layer the users will be accessing, or the users will be accessing in with a user-friendly manner or the GUI manner, whatever it may be. So I'll go in depth with this. So in the further slides, Susheel, go with the next slide.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, thanks, Susheel. So as I said, in the application layer, whereas the applications is all installed. So in the application layer, you can see much more processors or servers like message server, work process, dispatcher, gateway, shared memory, and kernel. These 6 process and servers consist of application layer, and that is the core component of an application, whereas without this, application is not there. So that is the main thing. So in the next slide, I'll explain you what is message server, what is dispatcher, and each and everything I'll explain you. So so this is message server definitions, whereas message server message server is responsible for communicating between the application servers. So the application server means there will not be one single application servers. So to communicate with users, the customers or the clients will be installing multiple application server, and they will be that will be integrated with one databases. Okay, so that in between, communicating between that multiple application server, our message servers are used, and that message server is also helps to passes the request between the application servers. So one application to other application server, if there is any information that needs to be shared, the user wise they will be sharing it, but the system encrypted coding wise, the message server will help us to share the data. Okay. So, and SAP message server also contains the information about the application server groups. So that message server will also know how many application servers are installed in our SAP system, and how what are the server groups. So in layman words, if we need to say what is server group in the sense, so layman words in the sense, so in your college, you will be creating a groups called you'll be having a groups called computer engineering groups and electronic groups, right? So if your principal is sharing one one information, and he need to share to the entire college, so he'll be passing out with some person and to inform everyone, like computer science department and to electronics department. So one person will be coming and saying that this is the announcement which is made by principal. So that information will be managed by message servers. How to pass that information the groups is available, like computer science, electronics, and mechatronics, what are the groups are available. So that information is also stored in message server. So based on that information, the message servers will pass the information to the respective application and respective groups. Okay, so next we'll go to, we'll see where in SAP application where we'll see message server is active or it is down. So I'll show you the screenshot, and yeah, I'll show you the T codes. What is T codes, and where in which T code you can see that. So T code is nothing but it's a transactional code. If if what is transactional code in the sense, if you go to your browsing center and you're trying to give a if you need to try, you're trying to search for some article. So you're giving I need to know about SAP basis or SAP. So if you're searching that, there will be multiple multiple articles you will be seeing in that. So to get that multiple articles, you need to give some lines in the search bar, right? So that is the concept of T code. So to see that message server, you need to give that T code to go to that page. So Susheel, go to the next page. So this is the message server monitoring screen, whereas you will be seeing message server is active or not. So in the right side corner, you will be seeing the message server status and the host name. Host name in the sense the computer name, and the services. Services in the sense I'll explain you in the later slides what is services. And this instance means the host name and the instance number consists of instance name here. So to check the services is active or not, the T code or the transaction code is SMMS. Okay, so I have even mentioned it here. So the message server monitoring status. So you can check it here. Okay, this is the status. So next slide we'll go with the work process status. So what is work process? So how many types of work process we are having? So we are having 5 types of work process, which is dialog, background, update, spool, and enqueue work process. Okay, so first we'll go with dialog work process. What is dialog work process? The dialog work process in the sense, if there are some users who is trying to execute some program in the front end. So in the front end, so the dialog means each and every users will know that if you are working in an SAP basis or SAP platform, that user will know if he is trying to execute a program which is bigger or which is smaller. If he knows that that program will execute more than 3600 milliseconds, he should not use or he should not run that program in a dialog work process. Okay, so because if he is running that big program in a dialog work process, he will be in a condition to face a slowness in the system. So to overcome that, we are using a background work process. So that person, the program or the report that may take more than 3600 milliseconds, he can use you can use background work process to schedule that report to run in a background, but that background work process will not impact any system performance of the SAP system. There will be no no disconnects in the systems. But if he is running that program or the report in the dialog work process, he will be having some slowness or disconnects in the system. So dialog work process in the sense, in the front end he is running front end. So in front in the screen, whichever the screen he has opened and he has executed that report, it will be running in that screen, and he can't able to execute any other transaction in that screen. He need to open one more screen and he need to open that. He need to run the other transaction. But in background, if he scheduled it in the background, he can execute whatever the other transaction in that same screen itself. He need not to open a new screen. Okay, so that is the difference between dialog and background work process and the update work process. Because in the name itself, it says that that work process is used to update the information in the database or the application level. So if we are trying to add an entry in any of the particular table, or if you need to delete any entries from the table, you can use this update word process. So since it is not, we are going to select it. The application inbuilt, they have programmed as such that if they are trying to update or if they are trying to delete, that will be happening through this update word process, not through any other word process. Okay, so next we are coming to spool word process. What is spool? Spool in the sense, it is in the layman's spool. It is basically in the SAP words we are using as a spool, but in the layman words, it's like a print. So if any user want to print the purchase order, or he need to try, he want to print any
Prashant, you want move the slide? Prashant?
guys, can you hear me?
Yes, Prashant. I guess you lost the connection between.
No, I don't know. Suddenly the mic has gone to mute.
Yeah, it's gone to the mute actually. So,
Okay.
are you on the same slide, work process slide?
Yes, I'm in.
Okay. Go ahead. You were talking about spool process, I guess. Hello, Prashant.
गूगल एडो का तो कैसा रहता एडो गूगल का कैसा रहता मार्केट में उस पे निकाला क्योंकि मेरे ख्याल से बहुत कम जनों निकालेंगे उस पे उसका पेमेंट कैसा होता है कि ये वो सब हट के बना और मेरा भी
Hello, can you hear me again? I don't know, something is going wrong. The microphones are getting muted. Hello?
Yeah, Prashant, we can hear you. In case microphone gets muted, please unmute yourself and you can talk.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so sorry guys again. So I have stopped in spool work process, right? Yeah. So the spool work process means it's normally in the SAP words we'll be using as a spool, but in layman words it's just like a printer. So if some users are trying to print, the print request will pass to the printer via the spool work process. So to manage the spools or to manage the printers, the spool work process are utilized. So if some users are giving a print, the print will go through or pass through this spool work process. It will not pass through any other work process which is apart from the spool. So now we can go to the NQ work process, which is so the NQ means in the word NQ itself, it is clearly stating it's a queue. So if one user is trying to access ABCD table, and he has accessed that table and he is editing that table, and if Sushil is accessing that ABCD table, and again when I am trying to access that same table, I will be in a queue. So I will not be able to access at the same time that same table. So I'll be in a queue, and that management or that message means when I'm trying to access the same table where Sushil is trying to access, so I'll be getting a message that this person is already accessed. So wait for some time to come out, the Sushil to come out. So that informations are stored or that will be provided by an NQ work process. Okay, so I hope I have explained the work process related ones. So I'll show you in the next slide where we can see how many work processes are assigned and what is the status of the work process. Okay, so she'll move to the next slide. So this is the screen in SAP. You can see the how many work processes. Okay, I think that is got blurred. So in the first up top, give me a second. Let me. Susheel, can you make it clear in the screen? So I think.
I guess this is image we just.
Okay, just a second. Okay, fine. I'll show you in the at last how to check means what are all the work processes are present and how many work processes are assigned. To check this work process status and work process means how many work processes are assigned, what are all the work processes are assigned to that application. We need to go to the transaction code, which is SM50. And there is one more transaction code. Also, you can go to that path, which is SM51. So in SM51, you will be having how many applications are installed. And if you go to that particular application, you need to go and double click on that application. And that will again go, that screen will again populate to this SM50 screen. So there also you can see the work process status. Okay. And next we'll see the dispatcher. So in the SAP, this is one of the main thing where SAP is working. So the dispatcher. So in the layman word, dispatcher means what? So what is dispatcher? Dispatcher means it's just getting some records or some what to say, some post, and it's you can take it as an example of postman. So he will get a post from the post office and he will dispatch to the what to say, the respective owners. Okay, so the same work this dispatcher is also doing, but in SAP words, it is some bit there is a difference. We are having some difference in that. So in SAP, from application side, from the end user side, it will get the data and the dispatcher will distribute the data between the application server based on the loads. So if there are 10 users who is giving a input to application server, okay, so in the application in that server, in a SAP application, we are having 7 application servers, but the end user doesn't know he is giving an input to which application server, but he is just giving an input to the SAP application server. But in the middle, the dispatcher will get the input from the user and it will distribute to the application server. So how it will be distributing? The dispatcher first, it will check which application server is having less load or which application server is having less work. So based on that, it will distribute the work in between the application server. So that is the main main work of the dispatcher. So it will and moreover, the main word which I missed it will equally distribute the works to the application server. So if one first application server is having 2 works, which is already it is already occupied, and application 3 is having only 1 work, and the dispatcher will not assign again. It will not again assign the work to the application 2. It will come and check which is having less work and which is having low performance, and it will assign based on the workloads. Okay. So the next one we are going to see. So that if we are saying that dispatcher, in the sense, there are 2 types of dispatcher, which is inbuilt dispatcher of application server, and some of the customer in a big organization, it's a multinational companies, they will be installing a separate dispatcher and they will be adding all the applications to that dispatcher. Okay, so because the inbuilt dispatcher is not capable of distributing, or I cannot say it is not capable. It cannot handle that much load. So what they'll be doing, they'll be installing one more dispatcher, separate dispatcher, and they will be assigning or adding all the application to that dispatcher to distribute the load equally. So I'll show you that page where the dispatcher is open. So Susheel, the next screen.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the screen, whereas the web dispatcher instance is running state. So you can see that it is a web dispatcher monitoring screen. So you can see the status of the web dispatcher, which is running. And you can see how many threads, the threads or the state. So how many application servers are communicating and how it is distributing. So you can check based on this threads. And you can also check the status of that thread. It means that if it is an idle, it is waiting for an input to the dispatcher or from the user. It is waiting for an input from the user. If it is running, it is in the running state. So it means that user has given some input to dispatcher, and the dispatcher is trying to distribute the work to the application server. So it is doing something. That is the process of dispatcher. So the next one, we'll go to the gateway. So Susheel, the next screen, Susheel. Okay, so the gateway, what is gateway? So I'll take one example. So the gateway means if you are entering into a college, the first thing you'll see a big gate in front of college, and there will be a security guard. So if you need to enter into the college, first the security guard will check your ID cards, whether you are a right person entering into a college or not. After checking that, he will allow inside the college, right? So the same work this gateway service is also doing. So if there are any systems, there are two systems, one is ECC1 and ECC2, or system 1 or system 2. So the system 2, if the system 2 needs to communicate to system 1, or if system 2 is trying to execute or trying to access any program from system 1, first we need to register that program in system 1 with the gateway files, which is reg info and sec info files. And if we are registering that, then only it will allow the system 2 connection to system 1. Until that, without allowing or registering that program or the connection in the system 1, it will not allow the connections to system 1, which is related to system 2. It is same as system 1. If system 1 needs to access any data from system 2, even then we need to register that program in the program or report, whatever maybe. We need to register it in the the system 2 files, which is the gateway file, which is reg info and sec info. So it's just like a gatekeeper or the watchman, where it will check whether it is authorized program or it is an unauthorized program. So first, if it is authorized, then it will allow. If it is unauthorized, it will say it is rejected, and then you will be getting an error, which is 505 internal error, or 54504 or 500 internal error. So you will be getting that. This is the work of gateway services. Okay, and the shared memory. We'll go with the shared memory. I think the next slide. Susheel, next slide, please. Okay, so shared memory means this shared memory. Okay, I'll take an example. The shared memory is used for faster access of the application server. See, if I'm trying, I'll take an example of a Google. So in Google, if you're trying to search something, so that is, if you need to search for any article which is related to a college or whatever, first time if you're searching and you have closed that browser, and in the second time if you're opening that browser and if you're trying to search for the same the same word, you can see the history of that word, right? So that history will be stored in the shared memory. You don't need to type the entire word again the second time. So you'll be just collecting that word from the history. So that cache or that that details will be stored in the shared memory. It's like a faster access, and there will be no cache in that. So whatever the data you're trying to access or whatever the information you're trying to get from the SAP application, first it will be stored in the shared memory, and later it will be go to the main memory. So if the data is stored in the shared memory, the access of that data or the report will be faster. If it is in the main memory, it will take bit. If the data is accessing in 2 minutes in the shared memory, it will take 1 more minute extra from the main memory. So it's just an example, but as part of application side, it's in a milliseconds, not more than that. That is the what is it? That is a process of shared memory, what it is performing. So I don't want to read those, and I do not explain this. I'm just taking a layman word just to understand you guys what is the work of shared memory and how it is useful. So that is just an example which I have given now. So I hope you have understand what is shared memory and what it is doing. So next we'll go to the kernel. What is kernel? So in SAP side, this we can blindly say that kernel is a part of an SAP application. So to know more about kernel, so I'll just say SAP kernel contains all the executable files. Without that executable files, the SAP system will not come up. Okay, so we need to keep all the executable files, and this kernel will be upgraded every quarter, every 6 months, based on the customer approval or based on the customer requirement. So we need to keep our executable files up to date. So then only your system performance will be perfect, and you'll be accessing your system without any problem. So it is just like your softwares, your mobile phones, which the softwares which you're trying to upgrade. Okay, so the upgrade softwares or the dumps which will be passed to your mobile by the companies like Samsung, they'll be passing your dumps to the mobile, and from that it will be stored in some location which is from Samsung store, and you will be just upgrading it. So it's just like that. So you need to upgrade this kernel or the executable files every quarter or every quarter to access your SAP application without any issue or without any interruption. So if there is any issue in kernel, the system performance will degrade and you will not be able to access the system. And the system, if there is an issue in the system is no more. It will not come. It will not even come up. So that is the reason I said the kernel is the heart of an SAP application server. Without kernel, no application, no SAP. Okay. So next, I'll show you how to check what version is installed in that application server. So show the next screen, please. So means how to check in the sense, once after you're logging into the SAP, you need to go to system status, and inside the status, you'll be having one more screen, or if you click on status, there will be an option called double arrow mark. So if you click on that double arrow mark, you will be seeing the kernel information, whereas I have given you the screenshots here. So in the screenshot, you can see the kernel release is 721 and the patch is 30. Okay, so normally we will not be upgrading the kernel, which is the release. We will not be upgrading the release. We will be upgrading the patches. So why we are upgrading the patches in the sense, the patches wise, if the older release, in this release we are having 721 and patch is 30, right? So now we are having patch 37. So this patch 37 consists of clearance of the bugs which is present in the patch 30. So whatever the bugs which is present in the patch 30, in 37, that all the bugs will be getting cleared. So we'll be upgrading the patches or kernel patches on every quarter. So based on the requirement. So that, as I said, it's based on the customer requirement or the person who is using that system's requirement. Without that, we'll not be doing it. Okay. So next we will see what are all the products which is supported or which is SAP is provided. SAP products. These are all the products whereas SAP is giving us support to us, or it is SAP is selling to the customer. So SAP Business Object, Success Factors, Business Planning, Sybase, SAP HANA. So I will say SAP Business Object. Business Object in the sense why we are using this Business Object. Business Objects, if you're entering a data in the Excel, so it will give you a numerical data, but this Business Object system will help you to get that numerical data to the graphical format, and it will be a user-friendly format, the graphical format. Okay, to get the data in the graphical format, the business object is useful, and that graphical format in SAP side, that graphical format data will be fetched from the SAP ECC system or ERP system, and it will provide you the data. And if you're trying to go with a Sybase, as I said, the Sybase is a database, whereas applications are installed and database will be Sybase. And SAP HANA, is an it's an inbuilt or the SAP's database, whereas it is booming now in the market. So, and if you are using SAP HANA, the system performance wise, it is very faster and very compatible with application. Based on that, SAP has designed this. Okay, so success factors, the business execution software, it is just an each and every customers will not go with the success factors. Based on the customer requirement, they'll be using the success factor. Okay, so and SAP CRM is a customer relationship management. So every customer should have this SAP CRM product. So, and SAP BI, business integration. So this is used to integrate the business, like if they are using two businesses, they'll be using this two business. Like if one customer is using, once they are in a condition to sell the paints, and they are also having the cosmetics one. So the two data, the product data will be available in the BI, and you will be getting that in the graphical format or GUI format, the data related ones. So you can get that. And the solution manager. So in all the products, the main one is the solution manager. The solution manager wise, it is used to monitor all the systems, all the the CRM, Bob, J, Bots, HANA, Sybase, all the system. From the solution manager, we can monitor all the system. It's a centralized monitoring. It is a centralized monitoring of all the SAP system, and you can you can use for other purpose, which is related to charm. I think if I'm going with charm, it is a big topic, and again it will go beyond. So I'm not going. Charm is just like a transport, the transport in the sense. So if they are trying to put some data from development to quality, so they will be just transporting it via this charm or the TR. So it's just moving, copy pasting from one system to other system. Okay, so these are all the products which is supported by SAP, which is sold to the customer by SAP. So here comes my last slides, which is question and answer. So guys, if you have any questions, kindly let me know so that I can answer you guys. So Susheel is also available, so he can help you. Yes.
Thanks, Prashanth. This is Susheel. So guys, Prashanth and myself has explained you about SAP technology overview, which I've explained you why we are using ERP, why we are using SAP, why SAP plays a vital role in the market. And then we have got into in detail about basis is one of the module wherein you can take it as a career in SAP. And this is as a technical consultant. It's basis, I told you, it's considered as a technical consultant. And coming to the roles and responsibilities, I'll just give an hint on it, not completely in detail. Prashanth, you can just give a roles and responsibilities if we get into the career path as a SAP basis, how these will be in your future career and how you can grow in ladder, like architect, solution architect, or a like delivery manager or delivery architect. So just give a glance on it to the audience.
Yeah, so if you are choosing a basis as a career path, your starting career will be in a monitoring one. So it is an L1 task, whereas you will be just monitoring the systems, and you will be providing your findings to the L2 team, which is which is one level higher with the monitoring team. So he will be trying to fix all the issues whichever you found out. So the monitoring carriers will means you need to work in the monitoring team for 2 years. After 2 years, you will be shifting to L2 based on your knowledge or based on your whatever the knowledge you have gained. In the L2 one, you will be working on the incidents which is reported by L1 team. So they will be monitoring the systems and they will be seeing that there are some defects which is available in the system. So they'll be using to fix it. So L2 team will be trying to fix it, and this L2 team, they'll be working on that to fix the issue. If they are not able to fix the issue, again it will go to the L3 level, and L3 level is the responsible person to manage L2 and L1 members, where they are working properly or the technical guidance are provided properly, or they are means they are in the right way, or means the L3 person is a means they should provide the guidance to the L2 and L1 member. Apart from that L3, we are having a solution architect, whereas the solution architect will be providing the architectural information like blueprints. So blueprints in the sense, if customer want to build a system in the SAP, so he can't able to he can't just go and say that I need to build a system, give me install the system and give it. First, he need to contact one of the solution architects or the senior solution architect. He need to get a blueprint, how to install and what are all the product that needs to be installed, how it will be interlinked. So that details will be provided from the solution architect. So from L3, you can do means you can choose your career path in two ways. One, you need to go with the technical side like solution architect, senior solution architect, or that from L3 you can choose one more career path. You will need to go with a technical means managerial role, or means like Susheel, he's a technical manager now. So he has chosen as a technical managerial role. Apart from that, you can choose, as I said, you can choose the solution architect roles. So whereas you, the customers will be directly coming to you and they will be asking you guys means how to proceed with their organization, like how to install the system, what are all the products that need to be installed. And so this solution architect will just not, he'll not just say that you need to install this. He'll be getting all the details about the companies, how many users are going to access that system and how many users are present in the company. So he'll get all the details, and based on that, he will provide a blueprint to the customer. So these are all the career paths available as of now. Means if it is going in depth, again it will be a 2 hours of session. So I don't want to go in depth on top of that. So I've just given you the overview of the career path. I hope I have covered that, Sushil.
Yeah, thank you, Prashanth. Thank you so much for giving a insight story about SAP and SAP basis, and this gives a clarity picture of it. So, audience and the friends on the forum, this forum is open for Q&A. Please go ahead with your questions. Ma'am, can you take a further? We are done with our presentation.
Sushil and Prashant, we have few questions regarding your in your chat box. Could you just refer to that? There are 1 or 2 questions. Do you want me to read that out?
I can see one question. What is the trend of SAP with respect to current AI technology? It's question asked by Janardhan. So if you look at artificial intelligence, Janardhan, it's completely different ball game, and SAP is a completely different ball game. Yes, SAP also integrates and it can be a part of artificial intelligence. If you see, artificial intelligence means, I can take an example, a beautiful example like lens card. When you open a lens card and you have a 3D view of the specs. When you're selecting a specs, it shows your face and it images it captures your face and it shows how you look like with that model of the specs, because you have a lot of models. And if you look at artificial intelligence, another example, whenever you search in Google that I want to buy any product, Within a short period or within a second, when you open another window in YouTube or Facebook or anywhere, you will get a prompt saying that these are the offers available for your choose. So artificial intelligence again comes as a data scientist, data analyst, and data morely into data. It complete captures the data and gives an artificial intelligence is like giving a realistic view. Comes to SAP, SAP is a product actually, and wherein it connects with AI. So Prashanth, would you like to add anything on this? Prashanth?
Sushil, there was some questions to me.
No. One of the question I answered. What is the trend of SAP with respect to current AI technology?
Okay.
So would you like to add anything, or shall we go for the next question? I hope
No,
Janardhan,
no,
you have been answered. So I hope Janardhan, you got my answer. If you need any more information, I'll drop an email of my email address. So we'll go for the next question. Which SAP
So
product is used? Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, there is another question by Shakuntala. Which SAP product is used nowadays?
SAP product.
Product
SAP
in the
is a tool.
sense, none of the products are decoupled or it is not unsupported. All the products are supported like SAP MM, PI, business objects, whichever I have covered here. All the products are supported here. I hope the question is not clear.
So Shakuntala ma'am, you mentioned as which SAP product is used in. So let me tell you, SAP is not, it's a product, but it's a tool wherein it integrates with all the different platforms with different models. Like when you're talking about metallurgy, information, HR, BI, BW, these are also combined products. So can you please elaborate on your question so that I can answer you in a best way? Any other question, ma'am, until Shakuntala ma'am comes up with her elaborate question?
Yeah, there is one more question by Shalini Devi. It says like, what are the different types of source systems in SAP?
Shalini Devi, what are the different types of source systems in SAP? Prashant, would you like to go with this?
Yes, the source systems like, as I said, we are having SAP CRM, SAP Business Object, Success Factors, Business Integration, Solution Manager. And apart from that, we are having various versions in SAP systems, which is 3.0. I have even given you that as a reference in the slide. So we are having SAP R3 release 3.0, 4.0B, 4.5B. There are multiple releases. So you can consider these are all the different types of source systems which is available in the SAPs.
I hope, Shalini, you got the answer. And I can see some interesting question from Janardhan. What will be the course fees of SAP now, sir? So, Janardhan, as we stated, we have a different modules, functional and technical modules. So technical means it has ABAP, basis, and security. So what are the choose you want to go as a SAP career? If you want to go as a functional, there's a different type of modules, and based on that module, the course fees are designed. For example, look at basis. Yes, you can get it in a 3 months or a crash course or 2 months, 4 months course in Amit. You can go and go learn it. But when you coming to the real time environment, it will be different. Whatever the learn things will be helpful for you. So again, based on the modules, what do you choose it? It's the fees are there right now. So we can't. There is no standard fee that.
Yeah, sorry.
Please go ahead.
The course wise, whatever the learnings once if you're going and joining to the course, that is the course or the class members will just teach you the basics of the SAP, and they will show you how to install the components, install the SAP application, and etc. But if you're coming to the live experience, if you're coming to the companies, and if you're working, the work style and the support wise will be totally different. Why I'm saying in the sense, in all the companies, normally there will be two teams in the SAP. One is the implementation team and one will be the support team. Whereas implementation team will just install the systems or just migrate the system or just upgrade the system. Apart from that, they'll not do anything else. But the support team will be providing a support to the customer, or will be fixing issues in the customer, and the support team will also do installation and upgrades also. It's based on the what to say, company's norms. So the why I'm saying this in the sense that learning wise in the studio or in the center, means in the training centers, will be totally different from the live scenarios where you're working. So you can just join the course and you can just learn the basics, or learn the learn what is SAP. So after that, if you're coming to a company and if you're working, you need to work in means you will be getting experience in the live environment. Apart from that, you cannot get experienced in the training center. You can just gain the knowledge, nothing else.
Thanks, Prashant. I hope, Janardhan, the question you got my answer. Can a person with age 40 plus can start? Absolutely yes. For learning and for growing, yes, 40 plus can start and roll back to their like example. I have my seniors who've been worked in different platforms and moving to SAP. But again, it's up to your calculated risk, Janardhan. You can start your career, but again, based on the opportunity. If you look at it, the right now, the current industry is going in a market of Azure and AWS. Even we are migrating to Azure and AWS. The platform and the work will be the same, but the way of things where I guess in the present last sessions you have heard about Azure, how it develops, how the system gets created within a short period of a time. So now what we are doing is completely we are using 10 steps. When we are going to Azure, we use only 2 steps. Yes, we can start your career, but again, it depends on your it's individual calculated risk. So next question, AWS and DevOps, which can be better career? Asking SAP guys, yeah. Yeah, AWS, DevOps, both are good. If you look at in the market, if you look at the market zone and everything, AWS is going good and DevOps is also similar way. But again, based on your experience, based on your foundation skills, you have to go with that. So if you say it's AWS and DevOps is similar, like if is your left eye is your favorite or right eye is your favorite, Shashikant. So both are good because all the technologies which is right now, automation, innovations, we are going right now. So if you want to go for automation, we need DevOps. DevOps is something like we have a package where you can design your things. AWS is again Microsoft Azure things. So Prashant, would you like to add on this AWS or DevOps, which can be better career?
Like left and right hand, Sushil. So we cannot this AWS and DevOps both are, I can say both are equal. So
Equal, yes.
Yeah, we cannot give high rating to AWS and we cannot give low rating to DevOps. If we are pointing out for AWS and 10, if you're giving a rating of 10, I'll give rating of 9 for both. Both are in the same court. Yeah.
Exactly. And even as all these technologies combines only, then automation comes in the market. Current industry right now, where we are facing with the clients a day in day basis, we see a lot of automation requests, a lot of innovation requests. Customer needs something more with the technologies available around us. So yes, we can't say that SAP is best or AWS is best or Azure is best. Anything is best, but again, you have to look out your foundation experience and you have to move on. Shashi. Any more questions, guys? We have to learn SAP CRM fresh, you can start learning and need anything basics. To learn SAP CRM fresher can start learning or needs anything basics. Sashikant, I just, to my understanding your questions, you mean to ask that you want to go get into the CRM career as a fresher, can start learning, need anything basics. So anything basics means CRM comes out as a functional consultant. So definitely functional consultants require some readiness or homework preparations before getting into this. So I don't have much information on what are the homework we have to do it, but definitely because getting into functional consultant is something like different ball game, getting into technical consultant. Prashanth, would you like to add anything on this Sashikant's question? Again, another question. To learn SAP CRM fresher, you need to learn anything basics or any preparations has to be done. Yeah, definitely. For anything, preparation has to be done. You know anything on CRM specific?
Yes, to update more in the, if you are starting a career, you need to first go with the basics. What or maybe if you are going with the SAP technologies or if you're going with the Azure technologies, you need to go with the basics. And if you are going with the SAP CRM, you need to know what is SAP and how it is supported, what is SAP platform, all the information you need to learn, or you should have a knowledge on top of that. So without the basics and without the information, you cannot start your career path in any of the product or any of the environment.
Thanks, Prashant. So interest of time, we already crossed, but I can take couple of 2 more questions. Any would like to go with that? So, ma'am, forum is to you, ma'am. So we are done with question and answers, I guess.
I hope there are no more question and answers. In case there are any questions and answers, I think it would be better if you would drop your email IDs so that they could get back to you soon. And
Okay, I'll
thank you
drop
so
an
much,
email ID.
Susheel. Thank you so much, Susheel and Prashanth. That was such a wonderful session, especially knowing about the basics of SAP basis and knowing the different terminologies, the architecture, and the different applications. It was indeed a wonderful session. It was very informative. And apart from that, even the question answer sessions also was very informative. Thank you for such a wonderful time. Thank you for taking your valuable time out of this and giving us such information. It was really helpful, and hope we will be able to see some more people following this particular career very soon. And thanks very much once again. For all the participants, we have already sent a feedback link. So please fill the feedback link as that will be counted as your attendance for this session. And I hope there are no more questions. So Susheel and Prashanth, please leave your email ID in the chat box so that people could get back to you when necessary.
Sure.
That's all.
Thank you
for
so
today.
much.
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much for Flora, ma'am. I'm sorry for that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to share our knowledge and share our experience. This is the right platform, and I kudos to coordinators and organizers who are conducting this. And this is a really good thing, doing this pandemic situation and to understand what is happening in the current industry, current market. It's really a good thing. I'm really thankful to coordinators and organizers who are conducting these things. So I've dropped an email. Even Prashanth has dropped an email address. You can drop us an email. What do you want? Have any questions? Please do reach us. And thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for giving an opportunity. Be safe, take care, guys, and be happy. All the best for your futures and all the best for your endeavors, future endeavors. Thanks, thanks everyone. So Prashanth, would you like to say anything on this and close the call?
So yeah, so first of all, I would thank the management teams who have organized this such a wonderful session, and this was it will help for us also, and it will help for the students who have attended this session. That was a wonderful session. I hope I have covered, I have explained the things which is in an understandable manner, and this was a nice and nice session, and thanks for providing such a great opportunity to us to speak or present in front of such a great audience. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Prashanth. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, sure. Thanks once again to all the participants. Request to all the participants, kindly fill the feedback form which is already placed, and also both Prashanth and Susheel has dropped in their mail IDs, which you can note it down and contact them for further details. Thanks once again, and we'll be ending the session now. Thank you so much. Have a great day, all of you all.